What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Tending the Flag. My name is PJ, and I am coming to you from beautiful Williamsburg, Virginia. And sitting on the other end of the no, not table because we're not in a studio, but other end of the internet, I guess, is Kevin. He is coming to you live from the former home of Robert Nesta Marley, Delaware. Kev, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Doing great. Thanks for the lovely Delaware intro.
Yeah, so we got a great show in store for you guys tonight. A lot of topics to get to, a lot of fun things to talk about. Of course, first off is, Kev, what you drinking?
What am I drinking tonight? A neat and tidy little margarita tonight. I did pour one.
You got the, did you get Margaritaville tequila or Jose, or what do you got?
No, I have a little bit of the Terramana. I believe it's the Rocks tequila.
Okay.
Little sprit of agave and a little bit of lime, and that's it.
Not bad, not bad. Well, I got I got about half an Iron Brew left, Scotland's finest. Delicious. And then after that, I'm switching to one Edmunds Oast Brewing Company Sour Blueberry Lime.
That sounds fancy.
I won that off friend of the show, Mr. B, on our last golf round at Mattapony Golf Course here in Virginia.
Nice. Congrats on your par 3 success.
Well,
okay.
To say I won is kind of saying that I just happened to suck less. Like, great course, challenging course, nothing that we couldn't handle on days that me and Brian were playing good, but on that day, neither of us had it together.
That's fair.
I shot a 97. I think he stopped counting at some point. Like, it was a rough round for both of us, and that kind of stuff happens.
Yes. Yes, that stuff does happen.
Yeah, so I suck slightly less on the par 3, but I don't want to say I won. I just happened to be a little bit better. But Mattapony, it's up near Kings Dominion in Doswell, Virginia. Great course. Absolutely beautiful. And once it gets to fall, that's one of those courses, like a lot of the places around here, is going to look more stunning than you can imagine with the leaves changing on the trees. A lot of elevation changes. Nothing too difficult you can't handle. Just a great afternoon out of that course. I very, very highly recommended anyone driving up the 95 corridor, or if you're taking your kids down to Kings Dominion or even Williamsburg. I know we got some great courses here, but it's an hour away from Williamsburg, so not out of the realm of possibility for adding that to part of your golf trip or vacation down here to the Berg. So yeah, Mattapony, I would 10 out of 10 recommend. Fantastic course, not very expensive, and it looks like it's only on the up and up, and good things are happening over there. So Kev, where was your last round at?
Nice. We got out this weekend, played a course called Neshaminy Valley Golf Club. I would not recommend anybody going there, but if you're looking for a cheap round of golf, and I will preference this with, it was $30 to walk, so there is no such thing as bad value golf at that number. Mm-hmm. But it was, I don't even know if under repair is the right word, because that implies that they're trying to fix it. But it was in rough shape, to be kind. We got there, and they were still honoring winter rates, which, yeah, that's nice. We found out because only the front tees were open. So playing from the ladies' tees, I had a course handicap of +2. And I don't think I've ever seen that number before in my my Gin app. So that was fun. I will say I played the first 4 holes. You would think that I had a potential of playing on tour. And then I quickly came back down to earth. And I think I shot 39 on the front. And then kind of just got not fed up with the whole round of golf. But I just decided to have fun. And I started hitting 1-irons off the tee, chipping with 1-irons.
God bless that Goodwill 1-iron.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just started, like, hitting shots. On the front 9, I believe I had gap wedge in on 6 of the 9 holes, including par 3s. So it got really repetitive really quickly. But it was cool. It was cool. We got invited up by a good friend to fill a foursome. And, you know, it was great to be out and golfing, obviously. And like I said, it was a pretty nice walk. Decent weather. But it was fun. I think I made 4 birdies and a couple 6s, and yeah, it was a day.
Yeah, I mean, $30, you can't complain. I mean, that's you're not going to do much better than that, even if the course isn't great. Like, It sucks, but I played courses like that too. Plenty of them where I used to live in Florida, where it's just all right. It's dirt cheap. You can understand why it's dirt cheap, but when everybody else is charging $100 for tea time, you take what you can get and you say, you know what? It's a day out.
Definitely. A really fun, quick story about our round. We're standing on the first green, and like I said, it's the red tees, and it was probably 280 to the green or something. And we're all finishing out, and a ball bounces, and one hops and hits my friend in the foot. I didn't realize it hit a foot. I assumed this guy hit driver and somehow got backspin, and I was really impressed by it. So the guy not only like drives up while we're still putting, but then he has the audacity to go, I've never hit a golf ball like that before. And when I say 4 times on the front nine, we had these guys hitting into us while we were on the green. The next time it would have been fired back at them.
Now that's rough. I mean, you kind of got to treat it like everything's a par three roll if you're playing from the forwards.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I said, I was hitting basically 4-iron gap wedge on every par 4. But it was cool. They had a par 5 where you rang a bell to signify that it was clear. So that was fun.
I love that. I love the bells. I love the periscopes. I even love courses where you're under fire. St. Andrews adds an element of chaos to it. But yeah, dude, a course with a bell or a periscope, I'm all for it. I stand 100%.
Yeah, all for the quirkiness of that.
Yeah, and just to show how stupid a game of golf is. So I shot 97 at Mattapony, and then Saturday was a nice day, so I went out to Forts Colony and played out there, which I think I talked about before. I don't remember. But Forts Colony, Blackheath, again, another great course in the area. We don't really have bad courses in the area. Like, they're all fantastic.
Nice.
And that's not just me like saying, hey, maybe one of them will listen to this and give us free golf. No, they're legit, like, great courses. But Blackheath, I go out and I shoot what'd I do? 47 and a 43.
Okay.
So I I turned my game around on the back nine of Blackheath. Like, the whole front nine, I'm like, oh my God, I'm in a slump. This is not good. Back nine, man, turned it on, felt really good. It didn't help that the front nine, I was stuck behind this foursome that was, and I guess I'll get on the soapbox a little bit because I am teaching someone to play golf. If you're teaching someone to play golf, don't be afraid to let the groups behind you play through and take the time to teach them how to play. Right? Like, am I crazy thinking that? Or, I don't know, maybe I'm nuts, but it's okay.
If you're slowing everyone down, yeah, you should be letting people play through.
Right, especially if you're teaching somebody. And I guess their argument was that there were groups in front of them, but they were a good hole and a half behind the groups in front of them. So they could have, let me get up in front of them a little bit, but...
I don't think I can tell you the last time I played through somebody on the course.
Right? Like, it's been a minute for me, and it's like people take it as an affront to their masculinity. I'm like, no, it really isn't. You're okay. I'm playing by myself or with 2 people. We're naturally going to play faster than your foursome. It's not the end of the world to let somebody play through.
No.
But anyway, soapbox over. Sounds like we both had a bit of a frustrating round last week, but transitioning into frustrating rounds, the Valspar Invitational.
Yeah, I mean, we have waste management. I'm going to call this one the anger management open.
Yes, I agree. Patton Kazari, club punt, broke his putter. Like, how often do you see it? When was the last time you saw a club punt on tour?
Never. Straight out of Happy Gilmore. Definitely takes the award for best means of aggression on the weekend.
No, absolutely. I mean, I get that he was upset because he ended up withdrawing on Thursday, so I guess there were some things, golf demons he was fighting on that course.
There was a lot of golf demons. In fact, he's missed 6 straight cuts.
Yeah. Bit of a slump for a boy, but, we all get them.
Yeah.
We also had Sahith, and he's on his up and up, and he shanked a ball and yeeted his club into the woods, which we've all done at some point or another. But he wound up finishing pretty okay, tied 36 at -1 for the weekend, chucking the club in the woods. Little personality out of Sahith.
I mean, it was beautiful. You had the follow through and drop into pick up and throw. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was like a ballet. And then the camera zooms back in and is like, oh, you missed the green by about a foot, bud. Which was impressive.
He was probably still upset about Los Angeles losing the playoffs.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's true.
Hurt me hard, but...
But yeah, I mean, like, you throw the club and still get up and down for par?
I know. That's badass right there. Like, that's a perfect example of how you can screw up a shot and then recover mentally enough to be able to go up and down. Like it's the hardness of the mental game that these guys have down. That's why he's going to be a star.
Hey, I mean, sometimes you just got to get the demons out. It's better than keeping it in.
Absolutely. And then we have Adam Hadwin slamming his club into a sprinkler head. Psh, water all over the place.
I love that he tried doing like I'm gonna put my foot on top and it's gonna stop the flow of water.
Nope, nothing to see here. Move along. Nope. Yeah, just water.
Do you think he had an extra pair of socks in his bag?
I hope so. But he missed the cut shooting 5 over 76 on Friday, so he had a rough day too. But again, when was the last time you see somebody slam a club into a sprinkler head and break it? Like, I don't ever recall seeing that.
You know what? I actually have the number on that.
Do you?
Yes, Davis Love III in 1999 at Bay Hill had a plug lie in a bunker and apparently got mad and slammed his club and poof, flooded bunker.
Davis Love III. God bless him. Okay. Well.
Yeah. So it's been at least 25, 26 years.
Yeah. Oh, once every 25-year event, I'm fine with it. But I gotta say though, I mean, they're getting angry, they're smashing clubs and everything. I like the personality being shown on the course. You know, golf has that reputation of being very stuffy. I like the competitiveness. I like seeing them kind of break down just like we do on the course.
Yeah, but I might have to be contradictive as like I've already stated I want to see emotion and I want to see maybe not emotion. Like I like the highs, I like the lows, but I think these guys went way too far, especially as professionals. Like there's no room for that.
It's fair. It's entertaining though. We get the club punt, but
it is entertaining.
I have a challenge, sir, for you next time that we get together.
Okay.
And we can film this for the YouTube channel.
Okay.
I'm thinking NFL has the punt, kick, and pass contest.
Yes.
I think that we should go to Goodwill and get some clubs because we don't want to use our own. I say we have a club punting contest. We have a club throwing contest. And then we have a club slamming contest where you slam a club into the ground and see how deep we can get it. Obviously in like a random field somewhere. But that would be our competition to see how we go with that.
Just to prevent from injury, do they make steel-toed golf shoes?
No.
All right. Look, I'll put my body on the line for science and competition.
Don't hit your toe.
I'm not worried about my toe.
Don't hit your toe.
I'm worried about, like...
Don't miss it.
The top part of my foot. I'll punt it correctly. Don't you worry.
Okay. You got to go barefoot.
No, I don't.
Barefoot NFL?
No.
Funny story, back in high school, I was, I guess, trying to impress my father on a misguided drive to play football for the high school team. And, a short little 5'6" nerdy dude going out for the football team. I'm like, what the hell position can I play? I decided to try punting. I tried to punt barefooted, and I guess I hit the right spot on my foot, and a welt blew up about the size of the softball on the side of my foot. And I'm like, nah, dude, I'm done. I'm not playing football.
Yeah, that's
so bad.
That's not the sport for you.
Yeah, but all right, that's fair. Challenge laid. We'll have a punt, yeet, and slam contest next time we get together. We'll put it on the YouTube channel.
I love it.
And hopefully by then we can figure out how to do like a shot tracer, so we can throw it behind the clubs getting thrown. And before anybody gets upset too, we're going to do this not on a golf course. We're just going to do it in a field somewhere. We don't want to damage a golf course or anything like that.
All right, I respect it.
Yeah, don't want to get added on the internet about that. But anyway, moving on from aggression, some happiness at Valspar. Victor Hovland, 7th tour win, first since 2023, going 71, 68, 70, and 69.
Dude, I'm happy for him. Especially a guy who missed 3 straight cuts at the Genesis. Arnold Palmer, the Players, came out. And I mean, this guy, just the quotes after winning, he's saying stuff like, when you have no confidence and you don't believe that you're going to play well, like, that's pretty tough. Mm-hmm. And like he wasn't even sure if he was going to even play the event. I believe he flew in Tuesday, played a quick 9, and was like, I'll at least play the Pro-Am tomorrow. And I guess that was it. He felt like he was decent enough to play, and yeah, he goes out and he wins.
Yeah, he deserves it. Good dude, solid player. It's his long time coming for a win, so good on Victor.
Yeah, I like him. And you know what? He played the course correctly. Wasn't the best driving this week, but he hit really solid with his irons and just really stayed patient and not forcing moves. And, that's the way to play tournament golf.
Yeah, and that win moved him up to 8th in the world golf rankings, previously 19th. So nice big jump for him there.
Yeah, it's. I saw that number and I was kind of surprised. It's like a guy that hasn't won in over a year, and you're still talking top 20, and now moving back to the top 10 with one win. It says enough about his consistency.
Oh yeah, looking up Valspar 1 players: Arnold Palmer, Genesis miscuts, Pebble Beach T22, Dubai miscut. But after that, he's got an 8th, he's got a 2nd, tied 30th, tied 26th. So yeah, his stock's definitely on the rise. I mean, not the greatest play of his career lately, but he's getting there.
Yeah, I mean, when he won in 2023, he won back to back. So
Yeah.
who knows?
I'm just trying to look at a couple more stats here, but yeah, Memorial 23, Valspar 25. Yeah, his stock's on the up and up. Speaking of winners, though, let's move to TGL. Atlanta Drive Golf Club taking the championship in a thriller over New York City.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I was very impressed by the playoff format. I thought the regular season was like, it was cool, but the playoffs, I actually kind of felt that like tension and kind of like, they talk about like hockey playoffs are, a totally different animal. Like it really felt that way with TGL too. Like these guys actually, it was a different game the way they were playing.
Oh yeah, they were all playing like they were playing for something, and I think as the season kind of rolled on, maybe they got more excited by how the reaction from the fans were, and I think that kind of fired them up a little bit too.
I agree. Yeah, I think they really grew into it, and started to really embrace the arena golf, if you will.
Yeah, and that's to say, like, I have a lot of great thoughts on the season. I think it was a success. Technology
I
wise, it was
agree.
great. Yeah, it was a lot of new technology that a lot of it was experimental, but it worked fairly consistently. No real negatives. In fact, it provided for a couple funny moments and more personal moments. But the biggest takeaway and what I think made it really successful was the quality of players they had. So you're looking at Rory, Xander, Colin, Ludwig, Hideki, Justin Thomas, just to name a couple. I worked on the stats. They had 7 of the top 10 players in the world, 15 of the top 30 players in the world playing in this league. And when you start a league with the best players in the world, that's going to drive the interest to it initially based on the names, and then the quality of play is going to be fantastic.
I mean, yeah, 100%. I mean, you look at when Liv was starting out, like their number one thing was to get the best players they could possibly buy. And TGL did the same thing. They said, "Hey, we're going to start this. It's a Rory and Tiger product, and we got to get everybody in there." And they did a good job, really stacking some of these teams.
Yeah, and that's a key to it, and that's going to be a key to its longevity. If you look at some of the other upstart leagues, like look at the XFL, look at the oh gosh, what was that other football league a couple years ago? Orlando had a team. And
Arena,
no, Arena,
UFL or
UFL, yeah, something like that.
something like that.
But the Orlando Apollos, I think, was the team's name. But yeah, I'm sure somebody can comment and tell us what that league is, or I'm sure we've all forgotten it by now. But if you look at if you look at some of the other upstart leagues, the problem is quality of players. Everybody's like, all right, XFL is cool for a couple gimmicks, and then after that, we realize, oh, these players aren't that great. They're not that entertaining to watch. But to have an average ranking, so I did the math on this one too. Of the 25 players in TGL, they have an average worldwide ranking of 114. We take out Tiger and Kevin Kisner as outliers. Tiger is 1272 on a world ranking, Kiz is 843. And that drops down to an average ranking of 28.
Oh,
Take out Ricky Fowler, who's at 105, it drops even further down to 24. So their average player, they have, if you look at everybody's rankings, their average player, they have about half the squad at a lower ranking, meaning like 30 to 76, and the other half of the squad at a higher ranking, going all the way up to Rory number 2. So I think that's a really, really fair place to be, where your average is spot in the middle of everybody's world golf rankings.
yeah. And now that you put it that way, I really feel like my Jupiter Link should have played with a handicap. Like that just doesn't sound fair.
Yeah, you got to play from the Tiger tees. If anything, it's Tiger. Come on now. No handicaps when it comes to Tiger.
I mean, the handicap is that he should be playing the senior tees.
I don't want to hear an excuse. Ricky's 105, and New York City almost won the damn thing.
I think 105 and 1200 are a little different.
No, not at all. Not when it's Tiger.
Fair. Okay. Okay.
All right, but let's go on to what did you think worked in the season and what didn't work for you?
Yeah. Just to start out, just the whole concept of TGL, I think was a huge success. The combination of alt shot and individual matches, and keeping a team score. I think I enjoyed the way that they work together as a team, they work together as individuals, and really combined it to make a true team golf experience. I think the improved hammer rule was one of the best changes they possibly could have made, because it went from blowout, blowout, blowout to wow, this is exciting coming down the stretch in almost every match. So good on them, and also shout out to the worst hammer team in the league, Jupiter Golf Links. And I think just on that concept, like just like screen golf, you go to everybody's got them now. Local sporting goods store, or golf store has screens now, and to be fair, they can be kind of boring. And I think you make it bigger, you make it better and louder, and everything. Just it made it interesting and it made it watchable, and it led to some excitement. You throw in pyrotechnics, and I think everybody can get on board.
Oh yeah. All right, what didn't work for you?
I mean, I can keep going with what did work.
And I'm not talking about your team, not doing well.
I mean, yes, what didn't work was Jupiter Golf Links. They were broken, except for you, Tom Kim. Love you, Tom Kim. But yeah, like I can keep going with what worked too. I just want to touch. We talked about it earlier. The personalities as the season went along. Billy Horschel was amazing, and just going back to the final, like bringing his kids into it. Normally, I would say that's super just cringy, and don't do it in professional sports. But having his kids there and was like, "Daddy, you are the best individual golfer in this league," and then he goes out and balls and wins the whole thing for him, was amazing. Tom Kim brought the energy. Go figure. Little kid loves technology. Wyndham Clark, he was chirping. Xander was getting a little, snarky out there and cracking some jokes. I really enjoyed how the players embraced, especially towards the end of the season.
Yeah, the only thing that disappointed me about Billy Ho was I was really hoping that we were going to get one of those "Who do you think you are? I am" moments out of him. But if you look at the interview, it was really funny the way that he said, like, I think I put in maybe a "this is my effing house" or whatever he said. Like the way he said it just cracked me up because he couldn't said it more like straight laced or anything like that. And I thought that was pretty hilarious.
I loved it. And the guy doing the interview, I can't think of his name off the top of my head. My apologies. Was like, don't you have kids here? And he was just like, yeah, they know all the words, but they also know not to say it. And I was just like, all right, as a dad, I love that line. Yeah. I loved it.
That's a bravo right there. But yeah, Billy O was great. They were all great the last couple of nights. Like the finals was so entertaining. Playoffs was so entertaining altogether. I'm looking forward to it next year. As for me, what worked for me probably the most was I'm a big tech guy and I love the emergent use of technology and just seeing where the possibilities for simulator golf can go. Like before I was always kind of on the fence about simulator golf. I'm like, that's kind of boring. I don't want to go play. I'd rather be outside. This to me made simulator golf cool, especially with the customization of the holes and what I brought up in a couple episodes ago, the possible gamification of golf altogether to attract a younger crowd. I think if you have customizable holes, if you go into maybe even something like in 2K25 where you can design your own courses, if you have that possibility to design your own course and then go play it on a simulator, that's going to bump up simulator golf. So I think what TGL did really well was they can show us just how good simulator golf can be, which opens the game up for so many more players around the world, because not everybody can get out to a local golf club, but everybody can go to, a bar with a nice simulator. I have one. There's one probably about a mile and a half from me, and they have 5 or 6 simulator bays, and it's pretty good. So the technology there was amazing. The way they were able to keep track of the real-time stats and put them on the website and the app and everything, I think it was beyond. Like their command center, I love looking at the command center they have for it too. So what really worked for me was the technology. I'll agree with you there on the hammer change. That was a complete season game changer. Like, I don't think the playoffs would have been nearly as exciting. I don't think half the matches would have been nearly as exciting if they didn't make that hammer change. And that was just chef's kiss, brilliance, 10 out of 10, no notes. I can't think of a way they could improve the hammer last year or next year. And I know we kind of differ because you're on the fence where, all right, the hammer has to be thrown very early in the hole. And I was with you on that up until the playoffs, and they started throwing them right before putts, and that added an element of pressure to some of the chips, an element of pressure to the putts, and when they were literally fighting for scraps of points and everything meant something, that was really cool being able to throw the hammer at that moment. So that completely changed my mind.
Yeah, and you're right. Once the playoffs started, it turned into some kind of strategery of how to use the hammer. In the regular season, hammer thrown, hammer accepted. Like, I don't think I remember a regular season match where they, declined a hammer. But it was strategic now, and like, you throw the hammer to get 1 point. You weren't throwing the hammer to get 2 points. So yeah, it totally changed the use of it, and I completely agree. So I'm gonna reevaluate my potential hammer change rule. First off, you can't hammer when the ball is already in the hole.
Okay.
And that might be my only change to it right now, because I enjoyed them hammering on a 5 foot putt. I love the hammer for 1 point. I think that was the moment that I went, yes, this is perfect right now. But no, if it's in the hole, the hole's over.
Oh yeah, but yeah, that's strategery, as you said.
Yes, great
Strategical
word.
use of the hammer, and I love it. So that's going to be great. What didn't work for me there, and this is just a little nitpicky thing, is all the background music. I mean, it didn't really do anything for me. It didn't take away. I know it's purely there to make the in person event a lot more exciting, and I get that, and it's cool, but that did nothing for me. But I had to pick something that didn't work, and that's it. Otherwise, there wasn't really anything. I guess how late some of the games were, that didn't quite work for me, because we got until like 11:30 at night. But yeah, it's just nitpicky stuff. I mean, it was great.
I would love. Yes, I'm going to completely agree. The music sounded like you were at a really bad wedding with a really bad DJ, and it was just like anything from hip hop to '60s, you know, back road music. Like, it was all over the place, and I couldn't figure out if the players chose the songs or how it worked. The music was off for me.
Yeah, from what I understand, they chose their songs.
Yeah, we need to fix that. No, this is really nitpicky, but the whole team branding kind of missed the mark for me. First off, let's get our shades of colors and shirts correct. If you're going to be a team, don't wear, dark red, tiger red, and some kind of like Easter red. You know what I mean? Like, let's get the right color red together. Let's get the right greens. Let's get the right blues. Let's get a uniform. Like, you guys are sponsored by Fnatic of all people. You can figure this out.
Yeah.
Then again, maybe not Fnatic. You guys cannot figure that stuff out. Shout out the guy with the Atlanta Drive caddy bib.
Yes.
That was fascinating. And also, when they brought out the championship T-shirts, I thought Alabama won the national championship.
Yeah, that looks it's very close to the Alabama A. And that's
It looked like a collegiate championship shirt.
yeah, and that's been a fairly common complaint across the internet world, is that they need to have more of a uniform look to their outfits. And I get there's like stuff in there with sponsorships and all that kind of thing. The other big complaint I saw on the internet is that them being from specific cities is really forced and doesn't make a lot of sense when you have like half the squad living down in Jupiter.
So that was part two for me, actually, of the team branding. It's tough to do the whole city thing. I get it. I get, the owners of the team are from that area. Like Arthur Blank with Atlanta. You've got the Mets owner. You've got the Red Sox owner. Like, it makes sense where they're coming from. But when you don't have a home field or you don't have a team representing a city, it's really tough to be going by like Atlanta and the Bay, and that missed the mark. And I think what would change that, and I know we've talked about it before, and it's just a complete pipe dream, is that if there was home matches and away matches, and I think that would really, I would totally rethink that the topic.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, what do you want to see next year?
I want to see some improvements with the technology.
Agreed.
I think they can take it to another level. One of the big things that I think they really hyped up and missed an opportunity on is that gigantic rotating green.
Mm-hmm.
The rotating green in person is a very cool concept until you realize they don't hit to the green. They hit to the screen and then they chip from the green.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no point in this green rotating because they can rotate where they stand. I think we need to make a better use of the green. They say there's like 600 actuators underneath to create different slopes and contours. But to me, it was always like they had the one shelf in the middle and it looked like the green was always the same. I would love to see them somehow contour the green and constantly change it.
Yeah, that's fair, and that's kind of along what I'm with too. Is I want to see a variation of lies. Like they have, like you said, they have the actuators to change the green and change the elevations. I don't see why they can't put that under the turf they're hitting off of to make a side lie more challenging, make an uphill lie more challenging. I also want to see like wind into account. I want to see rain. I want to see different temperatures. I want it to be more realistic in that sense to an actual playing field and have these guys have to take all that stuff into account. That would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I have those exact bullet points here listed. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I mean, we talk weather. Can we not place the ball in the bunker?
Yes.
Can we make it actually a hazard like it's supposed to be? That's definitely something. I agree. Like, a sloped lie would be amazing. And I don't think that would be that hard to do, especially considering some of these hole designs, like the whole gimmick of them is like, that's a giant downhill slope.
Yeah.
But yeah, every shot seemed to just be straight, and it didn't seem like there was any effect to wind or, I mean, it'd be cool. Like you have a hole called Alpine. Like let's put altitude in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think I said that on group chat, I think last night, where I said I think the sand could really be improved by, if the ball rolls in, you have to roll the ball into the sand. If it plugs, you have to maybe, slam the ball, have the ref slam the ball down into the sand to imitate that plug. Something like that would be great. Now, I'll throw a concept at you because I used to work for the Atlantic League. They're independent league baseball. And the way they would do their championship is they would have two halves of the season. They would have the first half champions play the second half champions, and that would be the finals. And obviously, whoever won that was the overall champion. What would you think about the concept of maybe, have the live season, or not the live, the TGL season where it is now as the first half? Because it's kind of the preseason for the PGA. Then after the FedEx Cup ends, you have the second half of the season and the same, 10 weeks, whatever TGL was. And then you have maybe the top four teams go to a playoff a couple weeks after the second half ends, or maybe just the top two teams, square off a couple weeks after the second half ends. So you're splitting the season up. You're kind of doubling the amount of golf you see on TV, but splitting it up into two different times of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally for that. It's going to be tough because you're going to have all the majors and all of these signature events, especially on the tour. They're going to be running through the end of August.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cut short this year because of the Ryder Cup. So I don't know how much time there's going to be for these players to keep up with a second season. But I have a compromise. And maybe if there's like a week off, we'll give the tour a week off, at least to the bigger players. Maybe a lesser tournament. How about an in-season tournament where say, hey, we're not just going to do it on Monday. We'll play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday or something. Have a group stage Thursday, Friday, and then like a knockout Saturday and then final on Sunday or something like that.
That's ambitious.
It is ambitious.
Yeah, I don't know how much the guys would be on that. And I'm talking like way after the season. So the season ends what, late August, something like that. Usually it ends in what, October?
Yeah, this year it ends I think August 18th or 24th or that week.
Yeah, but usually it's September, October. I'm talking like maybe, well, I guess we would have to move the beginning of the season, the TGL season back for the second half. But You see where I'm going with it, though. There's kind of a way to go around it.
Yeah, I would love to see
Yeah.
extra TGL, but at the same time, I think you might want to keep it unique too, and give it something that you look forward to.
No, that's a fair point. I just worry with the season being so short that it's what 40 some odd weeks between the end of the season to the beginning of next season that that interest and following is going to kind of wane a little bit.
Definitely, but I will say the interest. Just look at the money that these guys just won.
Yeah.
It was $9 million for the first place team, and I think second place got 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
If the money's there, these players are going to be motivated, and if the players are motivated, I think a crowd will follow them. Also, talking about money, shout out Lucas Glover. This guy played 2 matches,
Yes.
hit 15 shots, 11 putts, and won $2.25 million.
That's balling right there, dude. That is balling money.
That I would like to see a better shot per dollar one comparison ever in the world.
All right, let's move on a little bit because I think we've done a pretty good bit on TGL, and I think we're both in agreement. Resounding success, and I think the league can only go up from here. But let's kind of put a
Yes.
cap on the TGL season, and I'm going to quiz you with a couple questions. For those of you who don't know, I host trivia nights on Monday nights, so I'm a quiz master.
Okay.
So I am going to quiz you with different questions based on the TGL stats.
Okay.
Question number one. One team has, and this is going to be, it's one answer for basically everything. So one team has won the most hammers, and they also lost the least amount of hammers. Who was it?
Oh, the Atlanta Drive.
Correct. 10-1, 4 loss, a differential of 6, and that is how you win the chip.
Yes. Match number 2. 3 hammers in a row, 4 points. Bang.
All right, so I'll give you a yes on that one. Second one, most hammers accepted and most hammers thrown.
I'm gonna say Jupiter.
Correct. 12 accepted, 12 thrown. Good job.
Wow. Okay. And if this is the next question, I'm sorry. Probably also the most lost.
I didn't put that on here, but I think that might have been it.
It's definitely correct.
Yeah. All right.
I think they lost their own hammer multiple times.
Right. All right. Who won the most triples points and triples holes?
Team or player?
This is teams. These are all teams right now.
Oh, teams. I will say New York GC.
Wrong. That was the Bay. 21 points, 17
Oh.
holes.
Interesting. Okay.
All right. That's all right, though. You're 2 for 3. Still doing good.
Okay.
Who won the most singles points? Team, again.
Team Atlanta.
Atlanta with 18. Good job. All right. Singles holes won. Again, team.
Atlanta.
Wrong. That was my LAGC at
Really?
13. Yep.
Interesting. Okay.
All right. And last on your team's question, one team led all play stats, and that's average driver ball speed, average driver distance, average driver swing speed, fairways hit, and GERS. Who was it?
That's the Bay.
That is the Bay. 181.8 ball speed, 319 distance, 124.3 swing speed, 76% FERS, and 74.7 for GERS.
That is all Min Woo Lee right there.
Right? So that's not...
Absolute
all right, what do
pony.
we got here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4... Not bad. 4 for 6 on that one. Good job.
Okay.
All right, second half of this one, we move on to individuals.
Okay.
All right, one man was either first or T1 for almost all scoring categories. He led triples points, triples holes, total points, and T1 for singles holes. Who was it?
I'm pretty sure Wyndham Clark was the best straight up player.
You are on
So I'm gonna go
fire.
with Wyndham.
On fire. Wyndham,
Okay.
21 triples points, 17 triples holes. He was T2 for single points at 5, and in T1 with Billy Hole and Keegan for single holes at 5. 26 total points won.
Interesting.
Now, follow up to that question.
Oh God.
hold on. Never mind. Mess that up. Forget that. Forget the follow up.
Okay. No
For
follow
the
up. No
record.
follow up.
Yeah, I don't know what I was writing there. All right, number 2. Leader of average driver ball speed, driver distance, and driver speed.
I already said it. Min Woo.
Min Woo, 190.3. Rory came in second there. 332 distance and 130 swing speed.
I want to say I remember he topped off at 190.
All right, who was number 1 in GERS?
Number 1 in greens.
Yep.
Uh, Justin Thomas.
Was not Justin Thomas. I will tell you this is a bit of a trick question.
Okay,
You said his name before.
I did.
Lucas Glover.
Lucas Glover. Really?
100% GERS. Like you said, he made like 4 shots.
You went percentage. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. He was 2 for 2 hitting an iron.
Yep. All right.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
All right. Fairways was a 3-way tie. I'll give you a couple guesses. There's 3 guys. All of them got 100% fairways. I'll give you 5 guesses to get as many as you can.
Lucas Glover.
Wrong.
Oh man. 5 guesses. Minwoo, did he hit a lot of fairways?
He did not.
He didn't.
Well, he did, but not as many as these guys got.
Okay. Tommy Fleetwood.
Negative.
No. Aberg.
Correct. Ludwig.
Okay. I got one. Hideki.
No, we had Billy Horschel, Keegan Bradley, and Ludwig all at 100% furs.
Really? That's
Yep.
impressive. Good for them.
Yeah,
Good
it's
for
all
them.
regular season stats, of course.
Okay.
All right. So I guess I'll give you 1/3 of a point for that one.
I'll take a third. I think it's more than I deserve.
Yeah, it's not bad. All right. Final question: the closest average sand proximity on average. This is the individual.
Sand proximity?
Yep.
I'll stick with. I'm going to go Wyndham Clark. If he was the best scorer, he was probably the best around the greens.
Wyndham Clark at 1.9 feet.
All right, that's a lucky guess.
Yeah, you did pretty good though. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 1/3 on that one. 4 1/3 out of 5.
Okay.
All right, not bad. So you know your stats on TGL. So good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I think that'll put I think that's a good way to put a pin on the TGL. Well, not put a pin, but put a lid on the TGL season. Good times. Good times. Looking forward to it next year. And we move along to the next thing on our agenda. Rick Scoff at Top 100 Rick on Twitter put out a pretty viral tweet this week. He said, "I could make the tour if I had time. If you were a 25-year-old scratch player and I gave you unlimited time, the best teachers, the best equipment, best fitness coaches, the odds of you getting a tour card are 0. These guys are so good." Thoughts?
I don't think you can say it any better.
Yeah. And it comes from a spot where guys are like, "Oh, I could get up and do that. I could get up and do that, blah, 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 blah." So my question to you is, I looked up a couple stats on some of the major sports in the world: golf, tennis, soccer, and then the 4 majors in the States. What is the toughest sport to go pro in?
Man, if you just go by percentage playing, I would have to go with soccer. I'm going to start with soccer just because it's the world's game.
Okay.
And I know everybody plays it that doesn't live in the United States. So I'm just going to say numbers-wise, probably soccer. I'm going to go golf too, just because the sheer number of professionals is way lower than like a professional sport, major 4-team sport. I'm going to say golf is up there. I don't even know what 3 would be. I would say American football. Just because that is a very specific, then again, that might also be less people that play. But anyway, those would be my top 3.
You were close. So here's what we got. We'll go from the bottom on up.
Okay.
So I did 7 sports. 7th easiest is Major League Baseball. 0.5% of high school players and 5.1 of college players make it to the show. And well, I guess not the show. I mean, any level of professional ball.
Okay, and there's tons of those. Okay.
Yeah. NBA,
Yeah.
we had 0.03% of high schoolers and 1.2% of NCAAs making it to the NBA. NHL, we got 7.1% NCAA to pros, and we have 0.16% worldwide making it to the NHL. NFL, we have 0.023% of high schoolers making it pro, and 0.016 of NCAA players making it pro.
Interesting. I think my logic kind of contradicted itself there.
Yeah. And we get up to the top three. And you said what? Soccer was one, golf two?
Yeah, that's how I went.
All right. Soccer is third.
Okay.
250 million players, 129,000 pro players across all leagues. Gives you a 0.005.
Yeah, and going back to that baseball point, there are so many leagues that I guess you can consider yourself pro.
Yeah. Coming in at second, I had golf. There's 61.8 million golfers worldwide on average. That's the estimation, of course. 30,000 pros. So that's and I just did PGA Pro cards. Gives you a 0.004%.
Okay.
Top of the table was tennis. 106 million
Interesting.
tennis players worldwide, 4,000 pro tennis players, giving you 0.003%. Yeah, so I mean, I agree. Golf is hard. It's hard to go pro, but especially in golf.
I do kind of want to throw a caveat into those numbers with golf.
Yeah, I suck at
I think
oh.
Rick's tweet. No, no, no. I think Rick's tweet specifically meant the PGA Tour, though.
Yeah, and
But I agree with your numbers, and I think they're very fascinating, and I think they're. I mean, in my opinion, they make complete sense. But the whole point of this argument was that there's 125 tour cards, and probably about 100 of them are spoken for every year. So there's
yeah.
really not much wiggle room to get on the tour.
No, exactly. And I think Billy put it best too. He's like, because if you look at his tweet, he said something along the lines, and I should have had this pulled up, but he said something along the lines of like, yes, you can be scratch, you can be as good quality a player, but the difference between a non-tour player and a tour player is the mental game.
Yeah, definitely.
And I agree with that because I could go to, and this is one of the points we brought up previously too. I could go to any of these courses, well, not any, but most of the courses these guys play. I could play from the same tees. I could shoot the same, if not better, than they could on that particular day. But the mental toughness of being under the pressure of competition, of being under the pressure of, look, I do this to make a living, to provide for my family, so I have to do well. The pressure of, I need to perform so I can keep my tour card and a sponsorship. The pressure of, there's millions of people at home watching me and a couple thousand here watching me. Like that's in the back of your head. That is the key difference between the pro and the amateur.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you also factor in like living out of a hotel room for 8 months of the year. Missing family time is a huge sacrifice for a lot of these players. And I mean, I know a lot of people have taken their careers up based around family time. Yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into it other than just being good at golf. That's definitely a big part. And like, you might be a scratch golfer at your local golf course, but like, can you do it on a tour setting? It's a totally different beast altogether.
Oh yeah, put you in Augusta under tour conditions, forget it. Those greens, you're putting on ice. You have no shot.
I love these responses. I follow a lot of these silly little Twitter golf articles. And I swear everybody on Twitter thinks they can hit it 340 yards off the tee. And I feel like a lot of these guys responding are the same people. I saw one guy that was like, I played college golf without ever taking a lesson. And then like I looked into the conversation. It's like, yeah, I played D3. And I was like, I could have played D3. That's not a big deal. I'm not going to say that I would ever be a PGA Tour caliber person. It is a great internet talking point.
Oh,
It was
absolutely.
perfect.
And I'll agree that given a year, you can become phenomenal at golf. Like, yeah, take the person I'm teaching, Micah. She's played 6 rounds of golf and is already markedly better. There's the bartender at the bar that I do trivia at. He's been playing, I think he said 2 years, and he's gone to flirting with 90. I can tell from personal experience with my game where just simply playing more when I moved down to Florida, I was able to play year round. Being able to play more took me from shooting over 100 to fairly consistently being around the 90 mark. So playing consistently, being in the game like that, and just looking up lessons, like you're going to stumble your way into being a better than average golfer, but there's no way you're stumbling your way into a tour card.
I would make the argument that it's easier to jump from averaging 100 or higher to becoming scratch than it is from getting from scratch to even close to tour.
Oh yeah, I'll agree with that. And even if you throw out the fact that you have to earn a tour card to be able to play at that level, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, this was one of my favorite analogies to this argument. They used to say that Michael Jordan would join the PGA Tour after his basketball career. Peter Jacobson, who had golfed with Jordan a lot, said that he would be the shooting guard for the Bulls before Jordan would ever make the PGA Tour.
Yeah, that's a very fair point. But moving on to guys who don't have tour cards either. This just came out, I think today, was the Duels Miami, bringing live golf pros and top golf creators together for team event. So I think they looked at the Creator Classic and kind of jumped from there. Yeah, it's going to take place on April 5th, 2025 at Trump National Doral, which I played and is a beast of a course. Here's the lineup we got. We got Sergio and Wesley Bryan. Sergio! Bubba Watson and Luke Kwan. World number one Joaquin Neiman and Rick Shields. That's an interesting team. I love me some Rick Shields.
Yeah.
We got Phil and Grant Horvat. DJ and George Bryan. And Cam Smith and Fat Perez.
Oh, I know who pulled the short straw on that one. Sorry, Cam.
I mean, the Creator Classic did pretty well. I think it was fun. It brought some personalities into the game. I don't know about how that's translating over to live golf because nobody watches it. And maybe that's the whole point, to bring eyes into live golf.
You know what my problem with this version of like a Creator Classic is that these YouTube guys already do this on their YouTube channel. Phil and Grant already have a series that like they pair up and they play against other people. The Bryan Bros have already played against other tour players on their YouTube channel. I just saw one with Justin Thomas and Wesley Bryan. It was fantastic. This is already content that they're already making. I enjoyed like the, let's have creators go play Sawgrass and have a tournament amongst themselves. But this just feels like YouTube content, and we're going to steal it and try to make it our own.
Well, this is a key point on there, too. It will air live across Fox, FS1, and the Fox Sports app beginning Friday, April 4th at noon. So it's going to be on broadcast TV. Well, not broadcast, but cable TV. Well, no, Fox is broadcast TV. So it's going to be accessible to everybody's home.
Sure. And live is accessible. And, people still don't tune in. I don't think YouTube people are going to get people to a TV. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's going to feature 6 two-man teams competing in a fast-paced 9-hole scramble. I don't know. I don't know if I have that much interest in this. Like, I just watched the Creator Classic a couple weeks ago. I could go to Rick Schill's channel. I could go to any of these guys' channels and see the same thing, to your point. I don't know. It'll be fun. It'll be entertaining, of course, but I don't think it's going to bring to Live what Live probably thinks it's going to bring them.
No, it's just another one of those copycat things, and like, I don't know, you kind of seen it once. Do you really want to see the B version of it?
But, I mean, more people will be watching that than the OnlyFans golf tournament. I don't know if you got an advertisement for that on any of your socials, but there's an OnlyFans golf tournament coming up.
Let the record show I'm just disappointingly shaking my head at you. And the answer is no, I have not seen that advertisement yet.
Sure you haven't seen it. Okay, whatever you say.
Sure I haven't.
Yep.
Well,
There's no hot milfs in your area.
No.
Nope, nothing like that. Yeah.
I'm in Delaware. There's no such thing.
No, that's fair. Yeah, I saw that, and I didn't look into it or anything. I just saw that, and I laughed my behind off because I'm like, OnlyFans, you guys just need to accept what you are for what you are, but whatever. That's getting neither here nor there.
My ads that I get are like the Temu Scotty Cameron knockoffs.
Look, I'll say this: the putter I have right now, it's a legit TaylorMade Spider, but the one I had before that was a knockoff Spider. It's pretty decent. Like, it for $50, it is not bad.
No, dude, I believe that you can putt with an old shoe,
Yeah.
as long as you're used to it. I always talk about Tiger going back to his old ping putter while technology was advancing, and just going back to his old trusty, reliable flat stick. Putter is all feel.
And I'm not beyond using like knockoff club. My 60 degree is a freaking. Do you remember the advertisements for Warrior wedges and like
I
Warrior
do.
golf clubs? Yeah, I ordered. I got one of those for free, and it's one of the better clubs in my bag. I have a set of my hybrids are Cobras from that I got from Goodwill. So, there's nothing wrong with that.
Whatever works, man.
Yeah, but that's
Technology helps, but you can use whatever. It's the beauty of the
Yeah,
game.
but that's going to be a topic for an upcoming show, maybe in a couple weeks. But as we wrap up on the evening, couple more shows we have on the horizons. Kev, can you actually believe this? We have a plan for the next couple weeks. Are you as in shock and awe as I am?
I believe we have a plan. The problem is we have multiple steps of a plan, and that's the surprising part.
So yeah, we got a couple things on the calendar coming up. So one of the things we got, which was really cool, is if you're familiar with the Magnolia course at the Walt Disney World Resort, they just redid it and revamped it and added a special group of holes called Grumpy's Gauntlet. And we got in contact with the good folks over at the Magnolia course and their team, and they sent us some info about it. So, what we're going to do, and what I think we're going to do a couple times a year, is do a deep dive into a course where we take a look at the history of the course, famous people have played there, maybe some of the architecture, just basically devote an entire episode to looking at a particular golf course. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun coming up. And our goal is to get that out to you guys next weekend. Then after that, it's going to be a regular episode, but we're going to do basically just a Masters preview. I think that goes without saying, the biggest tournament of the year. And the show after that, we're going to have a Masters recap for you. So, God, we're going 4 weeks in a row with shows. Almost a weekly podcast.
Almost.
Good for us. Oh, that's going to be exhausting.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to really get in to a different angle of golf and with the different courses. It's something I love looking around the area, and I was playing this weekend and it was an hour drive for me to get there, and people are questioning why you drive so far, and just part of it for me is seeing new things and kind of exploring new courses, and just I love taking in a new golf course and just seeing the design and the different factors that come into play when you experience something new like that. So I'm really excited for this project.
Yeah, get outside of your bubble. I mean, don't be afraid to take a road trip and make a day out of it. Hit a new golf course, hit a brewery around the area or a restaurant, whatever you do. I mean, it's a nice day. I've driven up. I used to live in the Philadelphia area, and I've driven up to the Poconos about 2.5, 3 hours away to play a course just because it looked interesting and different, and again, made a day out of
Yeah.
it. And that's a great part of the game is you don't have to stick to the 6 or 10 courses around your area. You can go anywhere and play it.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to dive into this project, especially one with a little Disney flair, but also one that used to host PGA events. Tiger Woods, past champion. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so we'll go into that, and I don't know, maybe we'll do something with the social media pages on that too. It's a work in progress. We got a lot to talk about. Oh my God, before the weekend when we record that, so a lot to figure out soon. A lot of research to do, but yeah, it'll be good. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. I'm really excited to do a deep dive into Magnolia courses because I played them a lot. Magnolia, Palm, Lake Buena Vista, all the Disney courses, Oak Trail, when I lived down there quite a few times. So good memories for me. Also a huge Disney fan, to no surprise of anybody who knows me. But yeah, that's the next couple of weeks. So we hope you guys can join us. And as always, thank you guys for tuning in so much. We're getting subscribers, we're getting listens. So we're starting to build a little bit of a thing here. Social media is going. Kev, social media update. What do you got?
Keep hitting us up on Twitter, Instagram at Tending Flag. Yeah, we're gonna keep posting and getting the shows and the different highlights coming back at you. So
Yeah, hopefully in a couple of weeks we'll have I don't know, maybe some footage or something of you and me getting around in because I'm going to be up that way in early May. So that'd be great. And good things coming. So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And we are tending the flag. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and tell all your friends about us so we can kind of grow this little golf podcast community we're building right here. And we can't do it without you guys. So as much as me and Kev love talking about golf, We love talking about it with you guys more. So jump in on the conversation, give us some topics to talk about, and good stuff ahead. So that's going to do it. We're going to sign off. So I'm PJ, and I hope you all enjoyed it. And Kev, give us a sign off. That's your job this week.
Yeah. Oh, it's my job.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Appreciate you guys for tuning in to the end here, and yeah, we look forward to you with the Magnolia course review. So yeah, thank you guys again for listening. Check us out on your socials at Tending Flag, and we look forward to talking to you guys next week.